Live. All right, that's good. That's good. And this looks good. Copy that. Close that. Go ahead and paste that. And there we go. Now we're live, just chilling out. We'll see if some people want to pop in. Ooh. Never know how these NFL streams are really going to go. What's up, Daniel? Especially this time of year. They're always kind of hit or miss on the old channel here. So, we'll see. Whoop. What's up, Space? What's up, not much, Daniel. How's it going? Just kind of chilling out. Just ate some food. Feeling pretty good. And good to go. Stomach is kind of still settling down a little bit, but it's all good. All right, HBF. No worries. We'll be here. Yeah, always be. Should be good. Wait, what's that about, Mike? I'm sorry. I completely lost the train there. Oh, tonight's stream? Yeah, there's been a... If you're talking about like the stream tonight and all that, should be interesting. A few good ideas to talk about. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Mike. That's what I was thinking. It's always like baseball streams I don't seem to miss on. There's not a single one. Which I appreciate. I like all the new people watching. But it's been an interesting few days in the NFL, I would say. The Deebo Samuel's drama probably being the most prudent to talk about because if he has his way, he won't be a 49er any longer. They're replacing Jimmy G, and naturally he wants out. That's the real reason. There may be other pretend reasons, but let's just say my sources tell me that he's unhappy with them getting rid of Jimmy G. Or it's something about not paying him, what he thinks he's worth. I don't know. One of the two things is probably more true than the other. And I tend to believe it has nothing to do with the money. Nah, I doubt that. I have it on sources that he'd prefer to play with Mac Jones. So I don't fucking know. But it is interesting to think about how the only teams that are being like linked to the Deebo Samuel thing is any team with 2 first-round picks. And I feel like that's really lazy, like media reporting to be like, so who's interested in Deebo Samuel? Well, all the teams with the second round are with 2 first-round picks this year. Well, is the only teams interested in the guy for teams with 2 first-round picks, or is that just like laziness? He's a good receiver. That is also capable of some gadget plays, but I believe he also, going forward, would prefer to resume or assume more of a traditional receiver role. No more of the wide back role, I guess you could call it. But I think he misunderstands that a lot of his value comes in the fact that he has a multi-use value, like a multi-use purpose to an offense. I think so, Mike. I think he just doesn't want to deal with having to run the ball as much as he did last year. I'm sure the occasional end around is fine with the guy. That's actually a good play. But actually lining up in the backfield as a receiver, he probably didn't like that shit. Probably was like, well, I don't play running back. I don't want my career shortened by several years. Low-hanging fruit on the teams with 2 first-round picks. Yeah, yeah. It just seemed very lazy to be like, all the teams with first-round picks are the most likely to get them. Yeah, okay. Do some better journalism. Seems like the Texans, Lions, Jets, Patriots, and Colts are like really hard in on him, if I remember reading things correctly. With like the Texans being like the most aggressive pursuer. And I think the Eagles too, because they want to package Rager out, and they're probably in as well. Other than that, I don't really know too many teams that would like honestly be in for what like it would cost to get Deebo. Maybe like a dark horse team to look out for would be the Browns because they kind of have a shitty receiving core, but yeah, the Texans being the front runner, like the most aggressive pursuing team. And apparently the Lions are very hard in on this trade. It's just that one I actually somewhat believe in because the Lions are also trying to rebuild the receiving core. They have multiple picks. They're very heavily rumored to be using one of their first on potentially a receiver, like the 32nd pick. They might be going receiver route. That's a very high possibility depending on what they do with the first round pick. So. Yeah, you can make arguments, but again, if it's just because they have 2 first-round picks, which is what I'm seeing a lot of, I don't really see it. You can almost cross out. Let's see, Deebo plays in the NFC. More than likely, you could cross out a lot of the AFC or the NFC to get him. Yeah, the Lions. There's also one thing I would like to talk about. The Lions are an intriguing team, aren't they? Going into next year. You can admit, or you could just say they're going to be trash, but I think that lacks a critical eye. They're an intriguing football team because, you could be right. They could be a trash football team that wins 3-4 games, fires Dan Campbell, and goes on in another new direction. Or, I don't know. They could be a good team that just freaks out and wins 9 games because they had a better bounce than they did last year. Could they possibly lose another, 6-7 one-score games the way they did last year? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a team with a worse bounce than the 2021 Lions. That was insanity. And the hilarity with Goff is if I told you Jared Goff finished the last 6 games of the season throwing for 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, would you believe that? Is that a bad? Are those bad numbers for 6 games? It's not a lot of touchdown passes, sure, but all things considered, the Lions had Amon-Ra St. Brown and some other dudes. You know what I mean? Like they had one real receiver on that team at that point. So, and Josh Reynolds, which is when the 11-2 ratio started. So I don't know. That's a pretty solid finish to a year, right? I don't know. The Lions are a weirdly intriguing little team next season. Because if everything continues to go forward and progress the way that it was at the end of the year, I don't know. Would they go 3-2-1 or 3-2-2 or something like that? Not a terrible end to a year that started off miserably, losing every single one-score game that they were in. I know. I think there's steps to a team progressing, and I think being in a lot of very close one-score games is a positive sign, especially when your team is young, rebuilding, trying to forge a new identity. Fun to think about. Something to keep on your mind. They might be an attractive dark horse team depending on how they draft this year, and depending on how hyped people get because of Hard Knocks as well. Yeah, so that's a good spot to start. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, there's going to be 9-inch Chinese. They did announce that there's zero chance Kyler Murray will be traded finally, which was, I think, really important to finally stop a rather stupid narrative that for some reason everybody thought the Cardinals were going to trade Kyler Murray or Murray was going to ask for a trade or something. It was like, why would he do that? Pretty sure they got new uniforms, and that's why he deleted all that shit off the social media. And guess what? It worked really good to draw attention to them. I'm pretty sure that was a marketing ploy, first and foremost. And, and secondly, he just wants a new contract, I'm pretty sure. He just wants to get paid. I seen one of the craziest arguments I've ever seen. I seen a Dolphins fan with their whole chest out say the following phrase: that Tua is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. I'll let that sit with some people for a second. I know. What's up, baby? I didn't stutter at all. I'm going to find the quote right now. I'm going to show you how crazy some of these Dolphins fans are. Hold on, where is it at? I'm just looking around for something really fast. Okay. Oh, I have to find something here. Hold on. All right, ready? I just feel bad for Tyreek. He chose. Yeah, I don't know why he did that, James. It was pretty stupid. It's really hard. It's really not hard to say Kyler Murray is better than Tua right now. But I'd rather keep Tua than trade for Kyler. Hey, what's up, Luke? And thank you for the like. So there's that. At least that Dolphins fan is somewhat sensible about their opinion of Tua. Here, this is the one I found. And it also has my new favorite line of argument. How's everybody doing, by the way? From Dolphins fans. For some reason. What's up, Kenny? But I understand the end of his statement. Yeah, it's a weird thing that they're saying. They're like, yeah, a lot of them say that, but then there's this. Tua is better than Kyler Murray. Tua is 1-0 as Kyler Murray. Tua is statistically better than Kyler Murray, especially their first 20 starts. Now, you wonder why do you know what's weird is the Dolphins fans only bring up Tua's first 20 starts? Do you know why they clump in 2 years worth of starts together with Tua? Well, here's probably why. All right, you see the 27 and 15 over what is this? 23 starts, so about 3 less than here. That's 2 years worth of numbers basically, and they use that to compare with other people. They're like 27 touchdowns is really good, dude. I'd rather take Kyler's double that. Yeah, I'd take Kyler way before. This isn't even yards per attempt, a whole yard more, air yards per attempt, net yards per attempt. Also, Kyler has almost 1,000 more rushing yards and 11 more touchdowns than Tua running. Ugh. The Springfield Dolphins and Chiefs have 12 picks in this draft and have 4 picks between one. Yeah, Chiefs got a haul of picks for Tyreek. I mean, they were always going to, right? That's a considerable player. Oh, I'm not. I wasn't on the right page, was I? Hold on, I'm gonna look at something. Because in year one, Tua went for he made 9 starts. He went 11 touchdowns and 5 picks. Last year he went 12 starts, sorry, and he went 16 touchdowns to 10 picks. If they broke it down season to season with Tua, it doesn't sound as good. It doesn't feel as good as number. Oh, hold on, let me show you anyway. That's probably a lot better. It kind of goes against the narrative that the guys are like a good quarterback because they have to combine the 2 years. Because if they say the first 20 starts, they get over 20 touchdowns. They get almost 4,000. They get about 3,000, almost 4,000 yards. Do you see why they do that? And it combines a rookie season with the second year, which you really shouldn't be able to combine your first year stats with your second year stats because your first year stats don't really compare to the second year in the NFL. That's a whole different ballgame. You understand the speed of the game. The game's probably a little slower for you as a second year player compared to being a rookie. You've had a year of training in the league. You have a year of like exposure to everything. Especially, as a starting quarterback, I would imagine there's quite a bit of difference between year one and year two. For reference, I'm just gonna look up a random rookie quarterback. You know what's sad for him? Okay. So Mac last year as a rookie went for 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 13 picks. Which is, pretty good. That's pretty much just rookie stuff. Let me pull up Mac's rookie stats here. So this is what a rookie looks like. 22 touchdowns, 13 picks, 3,800 yards. Pretty good for a rookie. Not too bad, not too shabby. They compare Mac's first 17 starts to Tua's first 20 starts for some reason. Now, let me find something here. Now, Tua's first 20 starts. Let me find their silly, weird comparison. Okay, here we go. I got it. All right, copy, paste, drop it in. So they bring this up, his first 20 starts, he's got about 43, 36 passing yards. We can probably figure out that's. So in 3 games, he threw for 300 more yards, or 100 more yards, if you break that down, right? His first 20 starts, he had 4,336 yards. And then add in 3 more starts, he only threw for 100 more yards. So that's embarrassing as fuck, first and foremost. As a second-year player, he only threw for another 100 yards on top of his. So let me break down some of this stupid statistic here. He threw for less than a couple hundred more yards after his first 20 starts. So in 3 starts, This dude put up garbage numbers to end the year. All right, okay, think about that. That's when they probably choked and missed the playoffs or something. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's kind of alarming there, that number. All right, so 27 touchdowns passing. Let's see how much he's up to total right now. He was at 32 total touchdowns. Only 27 of them are passing, probably a lot less. Let's take a peek here. Where's the rushing touchdowns? Let me go find them. He's rushed for 6 total. So he's at 6. So he has one more touchdown since then as well. What's up, Dio? Isaac Rochelle, who's that? I'm sorry. Pick wise. No, he hasn't thrown any more picks since the 20th start, but he's also only went for one more touchdown with his 33 total touchdowns set as total stats. So he's thrown for 100 more yards, one touchdown. It's one game, too. Okay, so this is one game difference. Okay. So it's one game, and this is what the man's compiled. So the 27 passing touchdowns to Mac's 22. Mac threw for 3,800 yards this year. Tua's best year was 2,600 yards passing. That's pretty fucking embarrassing. His best touchdown, he threw for 16 touchdowns and ran for 6 for 22 total. I mean, rookie Mac Jones threw for 22, and I'm sure he ran for one himself. Did Mac run for a touchdown this year, or was it just 22 total touchdowns for old McCorkle Jones? Mac wouldn't know, or Mike wouldn't know. So I don't know. I don't know why they would say that Kyler is better. 66 completion percentage, that's really good. Damn, Mac's at 67. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Oh. Well, surely Tua throws it. Oh. 388 attempts to Mac Jones' 352 completions. Oh.
I remember the day
521 attempts to Tua's
what now, Dad?
381.
So I said, find a job. Any job.
Yeesh.
Work hard. That's just
600. Yeah, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what this Tua hype is all of a sudden about, but that guy's not very good. But how's it going, Daniel? You doing good, my friend? I get Max only a rookie, but it's just a comparison. You know what I mean? They always don't let you got to go look at it season to season. True, Mike. Yeah, true. You would have got that card. You hate the Yankees? Yeah, I mean it happens. I think they're the ultimate bad guys. The Yankees are. Jared Goff says he's not concerned if the Lions took a quarterback because he's secure in himself. The Colts signed up Stephon Gilmore. Good signing. I'd say that puts him at a pretty elite defense as long as everybody can stay healthy for him. But the odds of that seem, Let's see what other we got. Oh yeah, okay? So another thing is Colin Kaepernick has finally admitted that he's willing to be a backup quarterback in the league. That he understands that he'd probably have to be a backup for a while. Is he now a quarterback that a team should consider bringing in? Teams will wait until the QB headset shuts off, then change the play onto it. Yeah, like that's hilarious. It's the way to do it. That's what they did to Goff. Defenses would fast shift on Goff, and he would have no idea what the fuck to do because his helmet shut off. The Browns have spent nearly $340 million in guaranteed money this offseason. Yeah, Browns have spent some serious cash. But I do think there is a team out there that will have Colin Kaepernick on their team come August. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know if that's a bold take. I don't know if that's like an air horn sound being played, like brum, brum, brum. The Browns? No, I don't think any NFL team is ever going to be broke. I think I think he'll be a backup. As long as he's actually willing to be a backup, I think he'll make a 90-man roster and at least get a tryout with the team in camp. I don't know if he makes a roster by like the end of the season because, like you said, he's been out for a while, so we'll see what he can do. But I do think he's going to be in a training camp this offseason. This summer. Like Mike said, the 90-man roster, it does seem like he'll be able to get there. Whether that be the Panthers, where he's, it seems like the team really wants him there. Whether it be maybe the Seahawks, who could use a number of quarterbacks to come in. I wouldn't rule out the Steelers bringing a guy like Cap in if they can't get a draft that they get. Like a draft guy that they want in, this year. I don't know. I don't really see Cap as a bad option for any team. At least bring him in to try out. I can't really see it being divisive in the NFL at all. I could only see it as like a morale booster in the locker room. The Browns, yeah. I wouldn't be. What are you concerned about? Who cares? I'm not concerned. They have a lot of money. They're good. They make billions a year. I don't think that they're at all worried about money. They're good. And that's billions with a B. I'm pretty sure most NFL teams are making. So, yeah, 0% concerned. Even the Red, when I found out that Washington was lying and they were even making money hand over fist, it's like, yeah, I don't care about anything. They should all be spending that kind of money every offseason, every single team. And if you don't own a team if you own a team and you don't spend that way for a couple years, you should be stripped of your team. I don't know. I'm tired of these cheap owners just getting getting a pass. I don't know. I hate it. Maybe Detroit with Hard Knocks being filmed, it would bring ratings. Hey, I personally think that Lions might actually have something going on with them for this coming season. I think they're a dark horse team to really watch out for. Yeah, upgrading stadiums, fan events, like everything, yeah. The stadium should always be state-of-the-art type experiences. Yeah, 100%. There should be constant changeover for greedy owners. I'm so tired. They're the worst thing that ever happened to sports was the greedy owners. They created the atmosphere of sport that we see now. Everyone blames the circus-like nature of free agency and player demands to be traded on the players. And it's like, no, it's the owners treating it like a business before anything else. And eventually the players looked around and went, well, I guess it's a fucking business then. And now the players are treating it like a business, and the fans are going to suffer inevitably for it because we're not going to be able to build any like allegiances to team like player. It's weird. It's going to create a weird era. And it's the greediness of the owners and the refusal of small market teams to pay what they should, despite being able to earn as much as the big market teams. It's creating bad things. Stupid owners. And then those same owners of these poor teams say, why doesn't anyone want to play for the small market teams? Because you guys don't pay money because you're cheap bastards. Like, duh. The North, the Ravens, I think, if they stay healthy. Browns or Commanders. The Browntown more Mike. Washington's poop jokes versus Cleveland's being the Browns. I would say the Commanders definitely. The poop pikes, yeah, the draining poopy water. Like, I don't know. Washington definitely is the Browns. Whereas Cleveland should be, I guess, the Commanders now. Especially with the way that nasty stadium looks. Second, I don't know. I don't really do predictions like that, man. It's boring. Standing predictions are the most boring thing in the world, so I don't do them. Nobody cares. I'll be honest with you, Dio. I don't like to do predictions. I get bored doing them. I think people can tell I don't give a shit to do them when I do them because they're all, oh no, it's good. I just like to explain the reason why. It's just one of them things where it's like, My predictions right now is the Patriots win the Super Bowl. If we're going to be I kind of have this default way of getting there, but it is what it is. I see a Joe Burrow level ascension for Mac Jones this year. It could be the Patriots playing the Bengals to win the AFC this year. I think it could be a surprise situation. And in terms of the NFC, I see the Packers losing in the NFC Championship in hilarious fashion yet again. To the Falcons. No, I'm just... yeah, I can't do predictions, man. It's too early. I got the Falcons-Patriots in a rematch Super Bowl. Or the Rams-Patriots version 3. Who do you root for? Who's the underdog of that game? I know, it's a tough one, right? Are the Rams the little team that could, or is it the Patriots the underdog? We call it the most confusing Super Bowl in league history. Because who's the underdog? Who's the team to root for? The team that spends all the money on all the players and is completely loaded and is in no official way an underdog in any capacity? Or the Patriots, who similarly are just not an underdog, but like technically like they'd be like 2 touchdown underdogs. I never would want to play Brady in the Super Bowl, man. He turns into a crackhead. We'd lose that game. I don't want to deal with that shit. You know how embarrassing that would be to have that guy beat us in a Super Bowl like that? Fuck that. No, because I think it's the Bills' division to lose by a long shot. If I'm being really honest, the way I think it goes, the Bills win the division by a long shot, and then it's a battle for second place. And then I really don't think that second place makes the division in the AFC East, sadly. Because I do believe that the AFC West has 4 playoff teams. However that breaks down, I think all 3 of those teams are playoff teams outside of the winners. Rest in peace, Daryl LaMonica. I'll have to look him up. I seen that he passed away. The Dolphins, though, it'll be interesting. I think, personally, I think they're going to move on from Tua. I don't know if you're a Dolphins fan at all. But I personally think you guys will be done with Tua before too long. But, you know. Maybe there's a Josh Allen thing and I'm missing it. Because, you know, hey, sometimes I miss Judge. And I missed on Josh Allen after his year of descending into a worse quarterback than the year before. But hey, I kind of missed the leap. Maybe something with Tua is going to have something similar. But right now, I haven't seen anything that makes me go, oh, okay, I see where these fans are coming from. And I would like to, you know. I often said that if Josh Allen fixes his accuracy, the Bills are probably going to be one of the best teams in the AFC. Lions? Yeah, the Lions are fun, man. I think the Lions should have some of the most excitement that they should probably have had in a long time. You guys pretty excited about everything coming up this year? As long as you don't mess up the draft, this could be a solid season. Pretty sure Okuda is going to be sliding back into a safety role this year, which is probably more natural for him. Aaron Glenn's going to have another year of coaching under his belt with that kid and hopefully fixing him up a bit. I don't know. The emergence of Jerry Jeudy, the number 24, I can't say his name. I think the Lions are incredibly underrated coming into next year. Plus, it'll be fun to watch them on Hard Knocks, I think. MCDC is going to be an absolute riot. I don't know if the roster... I don't know. It's weird with the Lions, right? Like, you guys have, like, there's decent pieces all over that thing, right? Yeah, I know you listen to Tiger Streams, by the way. I'm more of a Patriots fan, right? But I think there's good pieces all along that roster. But it's like you said, there's a weird lack of starters. it's this weird phenomenon where, like, if you have to go against the Lions if it's like second string and second string, it's this like it's like the Lions would win 90% of football games. So yeah, it's like the weirdest. Like, they have good depth, but like a sincere lack of like starting talent, especially in the linebacking core. Their linebacking core is god awful. It's almost would be advisable for them to trade back and get a linebacker, but again, that would be kind of a reach in this year's draft. I don't know what they're going to do. It'll be interesting. They nailed last year's draft and undrafted free agents, so I have a lot of faith in Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and company and John Dorsey. So, you think so, TTV? I know the Lions are in a weird mix of potentially getting the guy, so I don't really know how likely it is that they wind up getting him, but that'd be pretty fucking baller, wouldn't it? Deebo would probably not be the happiest. He'd be like, what the fuck? All right, I'll play for you guys, but I ain't signing no long-term ass deal. Just let me go to free agency after. I want nothing to do with this. That'd be a bummer if your team did wind up getting Deebo Samuel traded to him and you didn't sign a long-term contract. You're like, oh, damn, we just gave up all that for nothing. Shit would be demoralizing. Be like, damn. Yeah, it will be. It will be, Joe. Trust me. Us getting Parker and the way that Parker talks already so glowingly about Tua is hilarious. I've never heard Devontae Parker speak so positively about a quarterback before in my entire life. Man has one whole practice with Mac Jones, and he's glowing about it. Lions going to draft Kayvon. That's not a bad pickup. Like, any of these edge rushers except Walker would be a great draft pick. But there's just this part of me that hopes, as someone who does watch for and occasionally root for the Lions as my second team, I do hope the Lions nail this pick, and I kind of hope they trade back. I do think there is great value in trading back and trying to get Stingley in a little bit later in the top 10. But we'll see about all that. Or trading way back and getting like a Nakobe Dean and having I don't know. There's a lot there. What do you want the Lions to do, Joe? And Breeze. Who do I want the Patriots to draft? Boy, that's a tough one, right? Because a lot of who I want the Patriots to draft is who's available. If one of the receivers happen to fall all the way down to us, yeah, like one of the top guys, yeah, to draft one of them. But due to how deep this receiver class is, I can live without getting one in the first. There's Andrew Booth, who's really good. The Patriots are very high on McDuffie. Based on kind of understanding the way Belichick works somewhat, I would say that Jordan Davis from the Georgia Bulldogs is a very, very high probability of being drafted if he's sitting there. I mean, I would honestly say that Jordan Davis is so likely to be drafted to the Patriots. Yeah, I think Breeze, that'd probably be the move. Probably Tibbs for sure at 2. But see, if Hutch is at 2, then that's the easiest pick ever. Then hoping for a starting safety and linebacker or wide receiver early at 32 and 34. There you go. Yeah, you guys have a lot of good picks right there. You could get Sign probably at 34. Yeah, I don't see it either, TTV. I actually think the Saints might try to trade up for Malik Willis, but we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I also think the Patriots are very, very probable to trade out of the first. Just because of the way this class is stacked up, it's positions we aren't desperately needy for, and I think the Patriots are pretty sold on John Mechie in the 3rd round. I have this weird feeling Mechie kind of had a shitty performance so he purposely gets drafted by the Patriots. I think there's like direct points that Mechie, it almost feels like Mechie's trying to look for a way to like circumnavigate the draft and just sign with the Patriots retroactively. Would be hilarious. He just dropping footballs and shit. I still think Mac Jones had a couple shitty times at Pro Day just to see if that to hope to God he fell to the Patriots. Just all right, just gotta do a little bad. Still hilarious that Mac Jones walked across the stage and mouthed to Roger Goodell that he hoped he was drafted to the Patriots. I hope I was drafted here. Or I hope this would happen. Hope Jameson Williams lands in your hands. Ooh, that'd be a good pickup. But, boy, there's zero chance he falls out of the top 10, even with the injury. Because I have him or Garrett Wilson go into the Falcons. And then, of course, I have the other one going to the Jets of Garrett Wilson or Jameson Williams. Can't really decide how teams are going to evaluate who the better one is. I think they're very similar, but I would go with Jameson just because he has Tyreek Hill version 2 written all over him. Maybe not as fast, but maybe a little bit better of a pure receiver than Tyreek. Maybe better hands, I would say. Well, 100% better hands. Tyreek Hill kind of has shitty hands sometimes. It's like this weird thing where he just drops a lot of footballs. Yeah, I don't think we're getting Wilson, Olave. Well, Olave maybe. I don't know. All of a sudden, Olave keeps dropping. And if Olave's sitting there, you draft him. It's not really much of a question. I also think one of the more underrated receivers is that kid Dotson out of Pennsylvania or whatever. Penn State, rather. He strikes me as someone who's going to be dangerous in the NFL. 5 in the top 100. Yeah, I really like the sign in Brisker at safety, but our GM is known for waiting on safety, so who knows? Personally, I think a ball-hawking safety would make Walker even better. Yeah, plus I know that they're going to convert Okuda to safety, I'm pretty sure. So, I wonder if that might mess things up. Maybe Sign or Daxton Hill. Hill as well, maybe, could be taken. But yeah, Dotson, I think, is going to be a little monster as a receiver. So fast, and his hands are like glue. I don't know how he's going so under the radar. He low-key could be the second or third best receiver in this class, and he's just kind of completely gone unnoticed. I have yet to see anyone who looks up his or watches the way he plays and goes, they all go, oh man, that's a dangerous slot receiver. That motherfucker is going to eat in this league, because he will. It's just everything you think of for the NFL. You're like, oh, okay, he's an NFL receiver. He's going to be a problem. As long as he doesn't develop doo-doo hands, he's good to go. It's all that SEC bias, you know what I mean? It's hard to, I don't know, I guess Olave and Wilson played at Ohio State, so that's not always true. Yeah, Deshaun Elliott's a great pickup, by the way, if you're a Lions fan. He's the only guy in the NFL that can individually tackle Derrick Henry. He's not a very good coverage safety, right? Like, that's a little bit of an issue. But if you want a safety that can literally just go fucking ball hawk and just fucking blow up running backs and tight guys who catch the ball, oh, Deshaun Elliott is nasty. As long as he can stay healthy, he's an absolute heat-seeking missile. He's a great pickup for the Lions, especially since it wasn't that expensive to pick him up. And he's a really solid pickup. If he stays healthy for a whole year, that's literally just a giant W, because the Lions will improve tackling the ball with him out there. Like, literally, they just will be better at that stat. Yeah, I mean, that is a big thing, Joe. I think that's the reason why they think he's gonna play a more like free safety type role. What's up, Vent? Just, we'll see. Because I mean, a lot of his corner game was the pure speed thing, and that might be a problem now. We'll see. And Okuda wasn't a bad tackler anyway, so if you want to play safety, you gotta be able to hit. Okuda could hit. Yeah, the wide receiver stuff is awesome. I'll be right back. I have to blow my nose really fast. 2 seconds, guys. All right, I'm back. Yeah, it's a crazy wide receiver market. And the fun part is trying to figure out where the hell Deebo Samuel is going to wind up. Oh yeah, Deebo has one good season, and this man is basically like, I need everything. Oh, you're spending time with your girlfriend? Hell yeah. The way, hey, Benjamin, just so you know, the way you worded that it kind of sounds like you're asking me if I spend time with your girlfriend tonight. And yes, I did. I always support the hilarious Diva wide receiver antic, but I really want to know what pissed him off to be traded. My theory, well, no, not my theory. My sources tell me, Ven. You know how I have very good sources. No, you're good, Benjamin. Don't say sorry. I'm just messing around with you, dude. I'm just messing around with you. Don't say sorry, my friend. But my sources tell me that he's upset with San Francisco because they want to go with. You're good, Ben. You're good, man. You don't need to say sorry for anything. You're good, dude. Yeah, sorry for saying sorry. I'm sorry for saying sorry for saying sorry. It's like, no, you're good, dude. I'm so sorry for saying sorry for saying sorry for saying sorry. It just becomes this vicious loop that his head explodes. But yeah, my sources tell me that Deebo wants to leave because they're moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's angered him tremendously, to the point where they offered Deebo $51 million a season. And he's like, nah, I can't play with Trey Lance. I only want to play with touchdown Jesus, Jimmy G himself. And that was that. Demanded the trade and everything. I don't know if that's Jimmy's nickname, but I think it's a hilarious thing to throw in front of Jimmy's name. $50 million a year. No, I don't think Deebo's being a diva. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no, and I agree. I don't think. By the way, I'm done with the whole narrative about players being divas. Teams are being divas then when they cut a player. True or false? Is a GM being a diva when he cuts a player? Is that diva behavior by a football team? No, it's not. Exactly. No one brings up a good point. It's like we can't look at the actions a player takes, like wanting a trade, wanting higher value for his pay, and say that's diva behavior. When a team will do the exact same thing, cut a player because it's in the best economic interest of the team. Yeah, exactly. It's the exact right thing, because if a team was doing this, would they be? If a team was to cut Deebo, would we be calling the team diva? Well, it's in our best economic interest to do it. Yeah, I'm very pro players making all the money and the owners getting nothing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want them to, I'd prefer it if my team was to make a move and pay people, and we, abolish the salary cap in football, which it should be gone. I hate that there is one. If there was a luxury tax in the NFL, I bet you 28 teams would be above the luxury tax. I almost promise. How many teams in the NFL are like at or above the salary cap by just a little bit or by a significant amount? What, almost all 32 of them? There's like maybe 4 or 5 teams a year maybe that have anywhere near like $50 million. Do you know there are teams in baseball that are almost $200 million under the luxury tax, or under what would be their salary cap? Could you imagine what an NFL team would look like if they tried to run almost $200 million under the salary cap, or the equivalent, like 150? Just think about like how much different would that look if these owners didn't have a limit on what they could technically spend on their football teams? Dude, they go fucking ballistic. There'd be teams spending $600-700 million a year on these teams, and it'd be most of them. Like there'd be 30 teams spending $500 million a year on their football teams, and I do appreciate that about NFL owners. I feel like the only thing that's actually stopping them from doing that is the actual rules of the league. Whereas in baseball, they can't get these dudes to spend any money. Yeah, every team would just be fucking loaded. Your team would have, they'd be ridiculous contracts. It'd be hilarious. But the NFL makes so much hilarious money. They're the one team sport where I'm like, why is there not a salary cap? Why is that? Because the owners know they'd all do it. They'd all do. That's why they just don't want it to go away, because they all know they have no self-control about this. All right, Joe, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. You have a good night, my friend. These are good listen backs anyway. Like for the parts you weren't able to catch, I always like listening back to live streams, because it's like, ooh, this is fun. It's when I catch most of my live streams, especially when it's just like NFL talk stuff. Yeah, the Rams. Yeah, everyone would be the Rams. The 2019 Dolphins. Yeah, everybody would just be going ballistic. It'd be a lot better of a game. I hate salary caps so much. And I've always hated it. I remember when I used to argue with people back when I first started my channel that salary cap was bad for sports, and now everyone's slowly starting to realize I'm right. I always have this. I don't mean to have a big ego, but I'm often like really weirdly right about certain things, and usually people have lined up agreeing with me in sports takes, like salary cap is stupid and shouldn't exist. Yeah, exactly. Look how much money the Browns spent. They spent $340 million in guaranteed contracts. Why? Dog, salary cap is stupid. Why do we have this? Why do we make things more complicated with like stupid shit? Why are we punishing teams that want to spend more? That's all that is to me. It's like a punishment on teams that want to spend more. Wow, so you want to punish an owner for wanting to do the right thing? That's retarded. Yeah, you get one financial wizard and there is no cap for that team anymore. It's fucking horseshit cheating. It unironically makes the game more unfair to have a salary cap because it allows for teams like the Cowboys or the Buccaneers to hire like cap wizards and just dominate the game. Yeah, no one. It's weird. None that people are actually for it, but I have noticed there's a rising trend of people being like, yeah, no, you know what? The salary cap is a stupid motherfucking idea. Yeah, all it is a punishment on teams that want to actually do good and spend money on their team. Why does that exist? What, so we can support bad, poor teams? What, to help them? To help small market teams that still make fucking $900 million a year? Whoa, poor babies. So they got to turn around and have to spend $300 million of that on the roster. Oh, well, that's what you should have to do. If I ran a baseball team, I'd be like the Mets. I'd be at $300-400 million a year on my baseball team. I'd be fucking beating the ass out of people going, yeah, we're never going to lose because we just got a better team than everybody because we're not stupid. We just spend whatever. Again, luxury tax, sure, put that into place because no one cares about that. I'd be out here paying $40 million a year extra in fines and shit. They'd be like, breaking news, the Detroit Tigers have finally spent $1 billion in payroll. Here's the owner, Dirty Rob. Fuck it, bro. All right, back to us. That was the whole statement. This dude's literally, I'd have 5 fucking ace candidates. I'd have all the Cy Young candidates on my roster. I'd have 9 MVP candidates in my field. Fuck you mean fucking $300 million? I mean, what about 700-800? Can we get up to that number? I want all the good players, all of them. I want to collect them like Pokemon cards. I got a net worth of $40 billion. You think I'm trying to play games? I want to spend $1 billion on this team this year and next year. I can only do it for like 10 years though, or else I'm going to run out of money probably. But for a few years here, we're going to run this shit. And it would be a good time. Then it would be better for sports. That's why I have no respect for these broke-ass teams that spend no money. I hate all the owners of sports teams. Generally, they're all pretty bad. And they're ruining sports. And sadly, one of the teams that I like has an owner who's ruining the game of baseball. Chris Ilitch's bastard child. Or Mike Ilitch's bastard child, Christopher. He's a dirty salary cap supporter. One of the enemies, really. Anyway, we can get off the salary cap thing because I feel very passionately about this issue. Pretty big evil guy, I would say. Anyway, let's focus back on baseball here a bit more narrowly. Free my boy Joe Pa. He ain't do nothing wrong. Except, a thing that got a guy into Congress. Ayo. If you hate Joe Paterno, wait till you find out what Jim Jordan did. Anyway. Kyler Murray. I don't know. Like I said, he was always going to stay there. And he's according to some Dolphins fans, Tua Tagovailoa is a better quarterback because of his first 20 starts. And, if you look at Tua's first 20 starts, man's is balling. Right. I mean, Kyler's first 21 starts, he has almost 20 more passing touchdowns. But I mean, Kyler's always had an ace team, even though he had one of the worst, a team that's literally worse than the Dolphins. But the only thing Arizona didn't do, which was pick, yeah, I wouldn't pay Kirk that either. Dude, Dolphins fans are seriously some of the most hilarious people on the planet. They're trying so hard to make people think Tua's a good quarterback. But you know what's going to be like? And I can tell you what December of 2022 is going to look like from the Dolphins fandom. Dude, Jacoby Brissett is a really good quarterback, dude. People really missed out on Jacoby. I'm shocked that Jacoby Brissett was able to fall through the cracks, and our genius GM Greer was able to go and pick up a hidden talent like Jacoby Brissett, dude. That's going to be Dolphins fans in December, by the way. As he guides them to their 6th win of the season as they miss the playoffs for a 3rd year in a row. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh, dude, the Tua Josh Allen comparisons are fucking hilarious. The Tua Breeze comparisons are great. Oh, it's for some reason they throw Mac up there and go, look at Tua's numbers compared to Mac's first 17 starts. Look at how shitty Mac is. Mac's actually a rookie for all 17 of his starts, not the majority of his starts coming as a second-year player. See, that's what I hate the first 20 starts thing. The majority of Tua's second starts came as a second-year player. Like, of his first 20 starts, they're all, like, second year. Like, 12 of them are in his second year. That's not really, like, a weird... That's a impossible comparison to make. Mac's first 17 starts are as a true rookie, not a multi-year mutant. Kind of an unfair comparison. I'll take the end of Mac's first 9. I guess I'll just I don't even know how you can compare that fairly. I guess I'll cherry pick 9. I don't know. Yeah, because and you know what also is weird? Do you know, Ven, that Mac Jones is at his ceiling right now? According to Bills and Dolphins fans, Mac Jones will not get any better. That's it. This is what you've seen last year was the best of Mac Jones. That was the pinnacle, the top tier. And you know what they'll say in the same breath, though? That Tua's developing into a very good quarterback, and that you can't judge a quarterback off their first couple of years. You got to wait like 3 years before you can make final statements on a promising young quarterback's development. And then they compare it to like Josh Allen and Drew Brees and shit and go, look at how good he could be. And it's like, well, what about Mac Jones, who had one of the best rookie seasons statistically for a quarterback ever? Yeah, that's his ceiling, dude. He's not getting any better. He's reached his apex. Or when Bills fans say it, like, no, Josh Allen had raw potential. Mac just won't get better because this is as good as he is. Sorry, bro, but there's no way he develops into a real quarterback. It's like, wow, coming from a Bills fan, that feels really weird considering your quarterback was dog shit for the first 2 years he played in this league and was literally one bad start away in his 3rd year from being put on the bench. Can anybody tell me that they really believe Mac Jones has no room to develop in the NFL? Like, okay, so everyone's like, well, yeah, he doesn't throw the ball very hard. Do you know what you have to do to... Do you know how easy it is to add zip onto your throw if you don't have a bad hip? almost like the same argument people made against Brady, but Brady started throwing the ball a lot harder too. I don't know. It's just this weird thing where they're like, Mac can't get any better. But it's like, well, all Mac has to do is get stronger, and he'll literally be a better quarterback. So I'm not too sure about that. I don't know. Does anyone really believe a first-year quarterback hit his apex in a year where he looked lost a lot of the time, and then halfway through the game looked like he'd figure it out? Kind of seems like a rookie quarterback to me, but yeah, I guess most rookie quarterbacks, make the playoffs. And see, it's weird. They'll bring up how Tua won 13 of his 20 starts, and as if it was basically all because of Tua. And then if you bring up that Mac Jones won 10 of his games and made it to the playoffs, they'll go, dude, it has nothing to do with Mac. Mac had literally 0% of the reason why the Patriots made the playoffs last year. 0%. Not one part of the reason was Mac Jones last year. It was all their defense and everything else besides Mac. But if you bring up... the reason the Dolphins won any games is all because of Tua, but if they lost, it was the team around Tua. It's this weird inconsistency where it's like... I don't fucking get it with some of these Dolphins fans. I really am quite confused on the consistency or lack of consistency. It's like, well, you really don't think Matt can get? Are you being honest, or are you just being I guess my ultimate notice of everything, it would appear that a lot of, how when Tom Brady was on the Patriots, and this isn't to compare Mac and Tom, this is just to make a general point here. When Tom was on the Patriots, nobody called Tom the GOAT other than Patriots fans and very honest NFL fans. It was this weird thing where Tom was constantly discredited and Belichick given more of the credit, as it was the Patriots system, it was the Patriots way, it was more Belichick kind of manipulating the system and making Brady seem better than he was. There was a lot of anti-Tom Brady sentiment. Overrated was commonly used to describe Brady while a member of the Patriots for a very long time, by the way. And then he goes and wins that one Super Bowl against the Falcons, and that kind of changes the narrative. Then he goes to Tampa, and that narrative is dead now. We're kind of seeing it restart with Mac Jones, where the success that he's had as a rookie, those 10 wins, are credited to everybody and everyone but Mac Jones. It's the running game, it's the defense, it's the coaches, it's the schedule, it's who they played, it's the weather why they're able to win. It's anything but Mac Jones is the reason why the Patriots are able to win games. Where have we heard this before? Why is it that zero credit ever goes to a Patriots quarterback? But meanwhile, every other team and every other fan will credit their quarterback for their team's success. But when the Patriots do it, they're very quickly reminded that no, your quarterback is garbage and always has been. It's everything around them while they win. So stop doing that. It's like, well, Bills fans literally only give credit to Josh Allen. I've literally never seen them give thanks to anything else other than Josh Allen. And they're the biggest supporters of football as a team sport. Very, very stupid people. A lot of these. And so I don't even take Mac Jones' criticism seriously when it comes from Miami or Bills fans. Basically, on the simplest grounds that the way that they reacted to Brady, while it's the same way they reacted to Tom. It's literally almost the same words. It's literally like, oh, he's overrated garbage. Is he? Is Mac Jones going to not? Is he at the end of his development? Is that all we're going to see out of Mac? I highly doubt it. Anyway, Devontae Adams trade. I think that was a weird one, but one I guess you could see coming, especially when you figured out how much Devontae got paid. You know what I mean? Like that was. I think the Packers might have made the right move on that one. I mean, we'll see. As long as they nail the draft pick and actually go get a receiver in the first round, it was a good trade. Plus, I think Devontae really wanted out. I know him and Aaron get along really, really well, or at least on the surface they get along quite well. But it does seem like him and Derek Carr are like really close. Yeah, you guys and the Packers got a great return. Like Raiders got what they desperately needed to replace Henry Ruggs, and you know. And again, I think Devontae seems like he's going to be happier playing with Carr. I know those two are pretty close, so, Plus, playing for Raiders, and they probably had dreams of playing with the Raiders together. Or at least some team in California, back when the Raiders would have been in Cali. Because I think, didn't they grow up in, like, the Fresno area or, like, in that area? Yeah, and it's nothing against the Packers. I honestly think if Devontae or if Derek wasn't playing for where he was playing, I don't think he would have left. I think a really fortunate or unfortunate, however you want to look at it, window opened up where he could have played. He could have played with Derek, and it just happened to work out that way. What do I think of your team's offseason overall? I'll be honest, man. I don't think it's been a great one for the Packers. But then again, I can't figure out anything about your team year to year. They rarely seem to make the wrong move with the current regime. Because they're so good year in and year out. It's hard to question anything they do right now, right? Like the combination of Gutekunst, the other guys in the front office, and the head coach. It's so hard to figure out if they're making the wrong or the right because they haven't had a bad year as a regime yet, as like a full for like a coach front office, yada yada yada. So I don't know. It's hard to figure out. Yeah, you need to draft a receiver, I would say, for you guys. If not, it could be a weird year. To compete with the Bucks and the Rams, I think you guys got to get another receiver. Even if you sign Odell Beckham and just let him sit out till the playoffs, then you'll have Odell, or at least for like the last 2 weeks of the season. I do think a team like the Packers should have already probably signed Odell Beckham. It's like, what do you think you really need him for the first 10, 11 weeks of the season? Just sit the motherfucker out. Like, he doesn't need to play. It'll also be fun to see Aaron having to, kind of bring up another receiver. I don't know. It's always fun to watch that. Aaron's going to have to play at a super high level. So as a fan, you'll probably enjoy that. Unless he, as long as it's not reckless play like when he was younger. Just for Devontae Parker, I would consider Carr as your number one fantasy. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Well, I mean, he used to run a little reckless when he was younger. That's how he got his shoulder. I mean, he used to be a bit reckless. He was a lot, younger quarterbacks with high athleticism are pretty reckless. One of the few ones who never has been is, I would say, Lamar Jackson. Oh, you wanted to do some slander. Okay, I got you. Lamar Jackson, until last year, had never gotten hurt running with the football. It's pretty amazing. And what's crazy, I don't even think his injury came when he was running the ball. Uh-oh. What's going on? My internet's acting up. Hold on. Uh-oh. My internet's starting to act up. I'm in red mode. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I'm starting to get kind of annoyed. It keeps jumping down from like 500 to 0. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start to wrap this up. It's not finding any kind of like stability or like stableness with the I don't know why. Fucking bullshit ass internet, dude. It's doing a little better right now, but I'm kind of watching it now. Sorry about that. But either way, I do think I'm gonna start to wrap her up, everybody. I'm getting pretty tired. Not gonna lie. Plus, I did a longer stream earlier. So yeah, Rogers can be a bit annoying. Yeah, I don't disagree. Is there anything anyone else wants to pressingly talk about before I get out of here? That's always an option. You can bring up something that you'd like to discuss. How do we do on likes? 13. Hey, 12 likes. Pretty good. Pretty good. I appreciate that. Very, very kind, everybody. This wasn't a bad little stream for just kind of a quick little hour hangout thing. Thanks, Lance. I appreciate it, man. We will be live for some baseball stuff. Probably always, dude. It's so fucking annoying. Tomorrow, obviously, and then Sunday we're gonna do some more NFL stuff. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm fucking. That took my the steam out of the ship. Plus, I don't know. It's been an hour and a half. I did a long stream earlier. It was 3 hours. Streaming for 4.5 hours is pretty good. Let's see. Tomorrow there's a Tigers. Saturday and Sunday I could do streams because there's day games. So I'll probably do streams those nights. I know Sunday or Saturday I want to do a final mock draft. So we'll plan all that. You too, man. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it, Vine. I'll be in the Discord and shit, of course. Yeah, next Thursday we'll be doing the NFL draft. So this time next week we'll be doing first round of the NFL draft. Yeah, it'll be fun. Once the school year comes to a close and I'm done with all my work for that, I'll be doing probably multiple streams a day again. So that'll be fun. Just got to get through the next couple weeks, burn through them, fly through them as fast as I can, hit the ground running. Psh. So I do appreciate everybody. It was a very fun night. Quick little chat about some NFL stuff. Hopefully, if you're just tuning in, just kind of rewind the stream and you'll miss what you missed earlier. All that fun stuff. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Have a good rest of your night, day, and morning, whenever you decide to listen to this. And go Lions, go Tigers, go Patriots, and yada, yada, yada. I'll see you when I see you next.